Remember when Mark Paul Gosselaar's face was plastered on the cover of every teen magazine? I do. It was 1974. Nixon resigned. 27-year-old Stephen King got his first novel, Carrie, published. The Post-it note was invented, and on March 1st, Paul Henry Harry Gosselaar was born in Los Angeles, California. He was the youngest of four. His mother, Paula, had been an air hostess for KLM, and his father, Hans, was a plant supervisor for Anheuser-Busch. Mark was the only one of the kids not born in the Netherlands. Like many child stars, Mark's career began as a model and commercial actor, appearing in ads for things like Cookie Crisp. He started appearing in shows at the age of 12, working his way up to bigger shows like The Twilight Zone, The Wonder Years, Punky Brewster, and Charles in Charge before landing the role that would put him on the cover of teen mags across the nation. NBC had been developing Good Morning Miss Bliss, a show that focused on junior high school teacher Miss Carrie Bliss, played by the one and only Haley Mills. Executive producer Peter Engel knew that the success of the show would be reliant on the casting of Miss Bliss's students, with one character in particular leading the pack: Zach Morris. Zach was a lovable scoundrel, and that made him particularly difficult to cast. That is, until 14-year-old Mark Paul walked into the audition room. He was an immediate shoo-in for the role. Good Morning Miss Bliss ended up being picked up by the Disney Channel, but only lasted one season. NBC, however, knew that by making Zach Morris the lead character, they'd have a successful show on their hands. And they were right. Saved by the Bell got 4 seasons and a movie, Saved by the Bell Hawaiian Style. After it ended in 1992, we immediately got a spin-off season of Saved by the Bell: The College Years. And then the final piece of the Saved by the Bell franchise, Saved by the Bell: Wedding in Las Vegas, where Zach and Kelly finally get married. While there was another spin-off, Saved by the Bell: The New Class, Mark Paul only appeared in one episode. During his time on the franchise, he did date a few of his co-stars. And by a few, I mean all of his female co-stars, which included Lark Voorhees, Tiffany Thiessen, Elizabeth Versace Berkley, and Lisa Ann Russell, who had a small role on College Years. Mark and Lisa got married in 1996, and he appeared in some movies I've never heard of before starring in Dead Man on Campus in 1998 alongside Tom Everett Scott, who is also known as Adam Fisher. That same year, he landed another role on the show Hyperion Bay, which only got 1 season. In 2001, he took on the role as Detective John Clark Jr. on the long-running series NYPD Blue. During that time, he had his first collab with Lisa, son Michael, in 2004. After NYPD Blue wrapped up, they had a second collab, Ava, in 2006, and he appeared in Commander-in-Chief, which also only got 1 season. But then he landed the lead in Raising the Bar, which got 2 seasons. That wasn't the only thing to end in Mark Paul's life, though. In June of 2010, he separated from wife Lisa after 14 years of marriage. Rumors circulated that Lisa had been out partying, but sources close to the couple said that wasn't true. Lisa started dating Jeff Probst shortly after. Yes, the host of Survivor, and the pair were married in December 2011. Don't worry about Mark Paul, though. He also found love shortly after a separation and proposed to Catriona McGinn in August of 2011. They were married in July of 2012. His friend, Neil Lane, said that Mark Paul was excited to have found the woman of his dreams. Mark Paul continued acting, appearing on shows like Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23, which is funny because sometimes I get him and James Van Der Beek mixed up, before landing a lead on Franklin and Bash, which he starred in with Breckin Meyer and Heather Locklear. Look, it's a Cult of Megs crossover. He also had his first collab with his wife in 2013, Sun Decker. Franklin and Bash ended after 4 seasons, and shortly after, they had their second collab, daughter Lachlan, in 2015. Mark landed a few more roles like Truth Be Told, Pitch, Nobodies, and The Passage before taking over the role of Paul Johnson in Mixed-ish. He also appeared in the Saved by the Bell reboot, which featured Zach Morris as the governor of California. I never saw it. Did anyone watch it? Did you like it? During that time, he partnered up with Dashiell Driscoll, who was writing for the reboot, to launch the podcast Zach to the Future, wherein Mark Paul watched the original series for the first time in over 2 decades. They seemed to stop watching mid-season 3, though, and abandon the podcast. Anyway, he most recently appeared in Found with Shanola Hampton, although I'm sure that between Saved by the Bell syndication money and the $3 million he pocketed off the 2022 sale of his Sherman Oaks home, he could probably chill for a bit if he wanted to. I would. I'd just sit outside and read. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this one. If you did, please save it and share it with your friends. It really does help spread the good word of the cult. And don't forget to follow over on the gram, the tube, just in case. I also have stickers and pins if you want to show off your allegiance to the cult. Over at Cult of Megs, if you feel like it. Good day, and may the cult be with you.